Management and Conflicts and Negotiations presented by Group 3. Type of complex, task conflict. The first of three types of conflict in the workplace, task conflicts often involves concrete issues related to employees' work assignments and can include these points about how to divide up resources, difference of opinion on procedures and policies, managing expectation at work, and judgment and interpretation of facts. Of the three types of conflict discussed here, task conflict may appear to be the simplest to resolve, but task conflicts often turns out to have deeper roots and more complexity that it appears to have a first glance. For example, coworkers who are arguing about which one them should go to an out-of-town conference may have a deeper conflict based on a sense of rivalry. Task conflicts often benefits from intervention of organization leaders serving as a factor. Mediators manager can focus on identifying the deeper interests, understanding parties' position. This can be done through active listening, which involves asking questions, repeating back what you were, confirm your understanding, asking even deeper question, at probing for deeper concern. Try to engage the parties in a collaborative problem-solving process in which they brainstorm possible solution. When parties develop solution together rather than having an outcome imposed on them, they are more likely to abide by the agreement and get along better in the future. Relationship conflict. The second of our types of conflict, relationship conflict, arises from difference in personality style, matters of taste, and even conflict styles in organization. People who would not ordinarily meet in a real life are often thrown together and must try to get along. It's sure surprise then that relationship conflict can be common in organization. Suppose you felt along simmering tension with a colleague with over work assignment, personality difference, or some uh, others issue. Before turning into a manager, you might invite the colleague in out of lunch and try to get to know him or her better, discovering things you have in a common with ever in a tea, the same city, children the same age, or shared concern about problem in your organization may help bring you together. If you felt comfortable bring up the source of the tension and focus on listening to the other person point of view, resist the urge to argue or defend of your position when demonstrate em- empathy and interest. He or she is likely reciprocate if the conflict varies of warmth and allies in the help of manager in resolving your difference. Value conflict. The last of our three types of conflict, value conflict can arise from fundamental difference in identities and values, which can include difference in politics, religion, ethics, norms, and other deeply held belief. Although discussion of politics and religion is often taboo in organization, these points about values can arise in the context of work decision and policies such whatever implement and affirmative action program or whatever to make in a client with this to a corrupt government. According to MIT professor Lawrence Suskind, this points dispute involving values trend into high height height in defensive distrust and alienation. Parties can feel too strongly about standing by their values that they reject trades that would satisfy other interests they might have. Fundamental issues for potential conflict. The four causes of conflict are differing aims and methods, competing or disparage goals, difference in philosophies and personality conflict. Aims and methods in task completion. Conflict can arise when people have different aims. For example, two co-worker may disagree about the best way to complete task. Each believe their method to the superior, and each individual may then feel compelled to defend their choice. This type of conflict is particularly common in situations where a deadline is pressing. If the deadline is met, quality will suffer. If quality standards are maintained, the deadline will not be met. When one team member is willing to sacrifice timelines and the other believes quality should be sacrificed, in the resulting conflict, the same ways cuts to the heart, nature, and mission of the business itself. Completing or disparate goals. Conflict may also arise where the goals of the individual involved differ or are contradictory in nature. Individuals have their own needs. They set goals, create agendas, and make decisions based on those needs. The business itself also has established goals and objectives at any point in the time. Any two or more of these goals and objectives may be in actual or perceived conflict with each other. This type of conflict often occurs when business departmental or team goals are not clearly communicated by managers and leaders to their employees. As a result, thus employees disagree fundamental on the goal. Actually was conceptually conflict arise as they each produce based on a firm certainly of the correctness of their individual perspective. Ideas, belief, and philosophy. Some of the most heated and entrenched types of conflict stem from a basic difference in ideas, beliefs, or philosophies. This has become more evident on worldwide basis over the last several years as political disagreements seem to create increasingly wide chasms between polar opposite viewpoints and political themselves by their political beliefs and other key aspects of their identities, creating an inherent conflict with anyone who identities creating an inherent conflict with anyone who identifies with different belief parties, nationalities, or religion. Hot-bottom issues such as politics and religion can make even simple disagreement feel like a personal attack on an individual worth as a person or value to the company or society as well. Understanding people trend to take attack on sensitive issues personality and they may find difficult to separate themselves from their ideas when this conflict fester in workplace. The resulting strife can display div- divisive and create the atmosphere filled with tension and resentment even for people not directly involved in the dispute. Complex based on personality. Sometimes a conflict needs nothing more than two strong personalities to come into close contact with each other. Typically, conflict based on personality difference may seem to be pretty and overblown to an outside observer. The initial inciting incident could well involve something relatively insignificant. However, if the parties involved refuse back down or resolve the difference, the conflict smolders and grows. To resolve the kind of conflict among coworkers, some credibility may be required. Managers may find it more efficient to resign one of the participants in appropriate circumstance. Otherwise, both parties will need comment to some frank self-assessment. In many cases, a personality conflict arises individual spot traits in each other that they are not comfortable with or especially proud of themselves. Conflict and the project life cycle. In this section following a brief discussion of the project life cycle, we will categorize the types of conflict that frequently occur in the project environment and then amplify the nature of this conflict. Finally, we will link the project life cycle with the fundamental conflict categories and discover that certain patterns of conflict are associated with the different periods the life of project. With this knowledge, the FM can do a faster and more accurate job at diagnosing the nature of the conflict he/she is passing, thereby reducing the likelihood of es- escalating the conflict by dealing with it effectively. More on the project of cycle. Various author defines the stage of the project life cycle different ways. Two of the most commonly cited definition are those of Tab- Tabhin and Wilmon and 29 and Adams and Bird. The former used for stage model with project formation, build up main program and phase out identified as the stage of the life of cycle. Adams and Brandt and also break the project life cycle into four stage conceptualization, planning, execution, and termination. For our purpose, this two view of the cycle is not significantly During the first stage, senior management intentionally, sometimes and fortunately, approves preliminary planning for project. Obtain the management recognition is preceded by some strictly unofficial bootleg war that tests the feasibility of the idea. Initial planning is the undertaken. Basic objectives are often adopted and the project may be scoped out. The second stage is ty- typ- typi- typified by detailed planning, budgeting, scheduling, and the aggregation of resources. In the third stage, the lion's share of the actual work on project is accomplishing during the final stage of the life cycle. Work completed, the product are turned over to the client or user. This stage also includes disposition of project assets and personnel. It may even include preparation for the initial stage of another related project to follow. How do you manage conflict in project life cycle? There are several strategies for managing conflict in a project life cycle, including establish clear in communication, make sure that all stakeholders are aware of discussing the key project goals. In this decision, communication needs to be open and honest, and misunderstanding should be addressed promptly. Understanding different perspective, take the time of to understand different perspective and the reason behind them. Try to identify areas of the agreement, compromise, compromise. Number three, resolving conflict quickly. Conflict can be disruptive, so it's important to address it. Likely work with the stakeholder to discuss and resolve the issue as soon as possible. Number four, utilizing conflict resolution strategy. Encourage stakeholder to work through specific conflict resolution strategies to help them identify a solution. This can include brainstorming, meditation of problem solving. Documentation. Conflict can be obtained avoided by documenting in all decision process and communication. This can be very helpful in preventing future dispute. What is the conflict in the project life cycle? Conflict is a inevitable part of the any project life cycle. Conflict can arise between the project team, client, and stakeholder. It can be caused by a lack communication, a misalignment of goals, difference in opinion, or by misunderstanding of expectation. Conflict resolution is the important part of managing a project life cycle. Good communication, collaboration, and clear objective are essential to resolving conflict quickly and effectively. A project life cycle consists of the process of bringing a project from concept to completion. It includes the planning, execution, monitoring, and closure of the project. Each step of the life cycle is an opportunity for conflict, and it is important to identify opportunities for conflict early on and manage them proactively. How to handle conflict in the project management life cycle man and man. Number 1, establish ground rules. Establishing clear guidelines and standards for behavior is essential to managing conflict during the project management life cycle. Include such rules as no name calling, respect for diverse perspectives, and talking a team approach to resolving difference. Number 2, listen to all involved parties to understand their perspective before offering your own. By listening, you can learn more about key issues, help identifying potential solution. Number 3, respect respect each person of view and willing to com- compromise in order to find a resolution that acceptable to all involved. Number 4, offer solution. Use problem solving techniques to identifying potential solution to help manage conflict. Make sure to consider the opinions of all parties and build consensus among the group. Number 5, follow up with all parties to ensure the conflict has been properly resolved and all understand the agreed upon solution. This will help ensure a better success rate for project management moving forward. The negotiation. The term of negotiation refers to strategic discussion that resolve an issue in ways but both parties find acceptable. In a negotiation, each party tries to persuade the other to agree with their point of view. Negotiation involves some give and take, which means one party will always come out of top of the negotiation. The upper truth must concede even if the concession is in nominal. Negotiation is method by which people settle difference. It is a process by which compromise or agreement is reached while avoiding agreement and dispute. In any disagreement, individual understandably aim to achieve the best possible outcome for the position or purpose of organization they represent. However, the principle of fairness, seeking mutual benefit, and maintaining relationship are the key to successful outcome. Specific form of negotiation are used in any situation, international affairs, the legal system, governance, industrial disputes, or domestic relationship. As example, however, general negotiation skills can be learned and applied in wide range of activities. Negotiation skills can be great benefit in resolving any difference that arise between you and others. Stage of negotiation. In order to achieve a desirable outcome, it may be useful to follow a structured approach to negotiation. For example, in a work situation, a meeting may need to be arranged in which all parties involved can come together. The process of the negotiation include the following stage. 1. Preparation. 2. Discussion. 3. Clarification of goals. 4. Negotiate toward a win-win outcome. 5. Agreement. 6. Implementation of a course of action. Thank you.